got Jacksonville Jaguars going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Haha, man. Steelers, underdog, home, 80% win percentage. I gotta go with the Steelers here. Gotta go with the percentages. Gotta go with the percentage. The data don't lie. We got Mike Tomlin with like a decade plus of data and everything on here. So I gotta pick Steelers. I don't care that the Jaguars defense has taken their next step or leveled up a little bit. I don't care that Deontay Johnson's back or anything like that. Hey, Vermouth, I think he's on the IR now, so maybe that's enough. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Steelers taking care of business here against the Jags. Jags, I mean, yeah, the offense, they have been humming more so up, but, early in the season, they were kind of just up and down. I think they're going to have a downtime against the Steelers here, again, at home. Steelers being the underdog. I mean, that's honestly the only analysis I have there is the data don't lie. Mike Tomlin can coach. Yeah, I mean, ETN, he can do what he can, but TJ Watt, he's just playing out of his mind. He kind of won them the game, I think, last game. So, yeah, it's kind of a surprise that this Steelers team, with how awful that offense is 4-2. So, yeah, and now coming into this game, if they get 5-2, that's impressive, I think. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers here, underdog, taking care of business at home against the Jaguars, who have been playing really well. But sorry, you just ran to the Steelers at home as an underdog.
Oh man, I mean, there's no reason why the Steelers should be an underdog at home after a big, win like they had last week, and they seem to always kind of defy, the odds in that sense. So like, why even stack those odds against them? Yeah, there's nothing like really sexy about the Steelers. They just play, I just think they play good team football. I think they're all connected. I think they're all, you know, buying into, Tomlin's system like year in, year out, just like similar outcomes for rosters lately for the Steelers that just aren't as sexy as like those, 2000s, 2010, 10s, Steelers teams that were, competing for championships with Big Ben and other guys. But, it gets the job done. I feel like, yeah, it's just hard to say. I mean, I think getting Deontay Johnson back is number one good, overall for their offense. I feel like he's just a good target getter. I think he opens up the field for guys like George Pickens, who also had a big game last week. Yeah, I'm not sure if Freiermuth is going to be back just of yet, but still wondering like what that Steelers running game is truly going to be. I mean, Najee is so middling. Wondering if a guy like Jalen Warren could help change the pace. Their price tags are, experiencing a bit of a differential there. So, probably that's playing into, this kind of playing time. But I guess, we're talking about the Steelers. I'm looking over at the other end. Jaguars are kind of my darlings, man. I enjoy them. I like how they've been playing football. Like, Aluakun on defense has been a monster. Like, love that he had the pick six last week. I obviously have him for IDP, so I was smiling ear to ear when I got a pick six. I mean, it's a lot of points. And I just like the guy. He's fun, man. He flies all over the field. He's kind of playing like a safety linebacker hybrid type role where he's, constantly dropping back in coverage and disrupting passes and things like that. So it's super fun to watch. They just have a really aggressive defensive line. Their secondary has been pretty dependable with guys like Darius Williams and Rayshon Jenkins, in coverage. And yeah, the offense has been looking a bit better. I mean, I'd love to see Calvin Ridley get more involved in the offense. I think they really are trying to, but they're just not finding, those openings. He's serving more or less as a decoy for guys like Christian Kirk. I mean, Jamal Agnew got in on the action last week. But it's basically like Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, those two kind of play off each other. And Lawrence, I think we were concerned a bit of him going into New Orleans with an injury, how that affected his game, but he really turned to his legs to create extra yardage for himself, first downs for the team, kept moving the chains, and I think he's starting to turn the corner on being like a guy who I think we could start to consider in the top 10 of quarterbacks, confidently and say, this is a guy you could build a franchise around. Somebody like folks are starting to like rally around on that offense. It's gonna be a tough one, man. I mean, they shouldn't have been favorites for this game, honestly. I mean, they should have been like 3 or 4 point, 5 point dogs, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville here, staying on their little run, and I think they win by a field goal.
Okay. No, that sounds good. 80%, bro. 80%. I mean,
All
yeah.
right.
No, but to your point, Jaguars are playing really well. Yeah, and Ingram too, like the tight end, he's been catching. I think, he's for PPR, he's I think one of the top tight ends. I think he's like top 10 in terms of overall receptions, right? So Lawrence has definitely been utilizing him, for kind of the short, intermediate type of routes, right? So, um, you know, has been turning the ball as much, I think, of late, and that's led to some success there for Lawrence. So, and the Jaguars. But yeah, like they've been playing really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go against that whole Steelers at home as an underdog. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to get Calvin Ridley involved, like you mentioned. It seems like the Jaguars and a lot of teams now they're trying to play a little bit more, ball control type of offense where they're kind of passing to the tight end and slot wide receiver. We see something similar to with the Ravens along with Lamar Jackson, passing more to Zay Flowers and obviously Mark Andrews, kind of like I don't know, the old school like Tom Brady with whatever white out and Rob Gronkowski at the tight end. So kind of playing ball control offense, but passing, to the tight end slot wide receiver. I feel like that's just a recipe for success, especially as wide receivers are asking for more and more money now, and the salary cap has always been a fun thing. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if the Jaguars are able to pull this off. Definitely two good quality teams, good defenses. You know, Jaguars probably a more complete team, especially on the offensive side. So, but yeah, we'll see. If Deontay Johnson helps out. But yeah, no. Maybe we'll see more Darnell Washington too from Georgia for the Steelers. Like that could be something too to look out for. So, but yeah, gonna still go with Steel City here with the 80% success rate for Steelers as underdogs at home.
Sounds good. I always like to swim against the current, so we'll see where I end up.